Chapter 2, The Curtain Jerker. The dull hum of the arena filled the air as the early crowd settled into their seats, sipping overpriced drinks and waiting for the main show. In the locker room, the energy was different, charged yet tense. This was the Curtain Jerker match, the opening bout, the jobber's bread and butter. And tonight, it belonged to Ray the Workhorse Carter. Ray sat on a battered steel chair, taping his wrists with the precision of someone who had done it 1,000 times. Around him, the other jobbers milled about, cracking jokes, adjusting their gear, and preparing for their roles. Ray, however, was locked in. Tonight, he was facing the Apex, a young up-and-comer with a big push ahead of him. Ray's job was simple: make Apex look like the next big thing. Across the room, a cluster of purists from the traditional Losers Guild watched Ray with skeptical eyes. They were the old guard, wrestlers who believed a jobber's role was sacred and that any attempt to stand out or steal the show was blasphemy. Ray didn't care. He wasn't in it for their approval. He was in it for his family. "Hey, Workhorse," a booming voice called. It was Tony the Hammer DeLuca, an older jobber and one of the few Ray actually respected. "You ready to take that Suplex City tour tonight?" Ray smirked, finishing his tape job. "If I'm lucky, maybe they'll give me a postcard." The locker room laughed, but the purists exchanged disapproving glances. Ray didn't care about them. He cared about making his paycheck and proving that jobbers weren't just cannon fodder. They were craftsmen. Out in the ring, the crowd was still trickling in, their excitement reserved for later matches. Ray stepped through the curtain, his generic theme music playing over the speakers. His gear was simple: no flashy colors, no logos, just black trunks, black boots, and a plain, determined look. The Apex was already in the ring, flexing and posturing to the crowd. He had the look, sculpted physique, sparkling gear, and charisma that practically radiated off him. The announcer hyped him up, painting him as the next big star. Ray knew his role. He locked eyes with the Apex and gave a subtle nod. This wasn't about Ray Carter. This was about selling the illusion, making the crowd believe. The bell rang and the match began. Ray moved like a veteran, selling every strike, every throw, and every slam with perfect timing. The Apex hit his big moves, and Ray made them look devastating. The crowd roared, their excitement building with each sequence. In the middle of the match, Ray took a moment to glance at the audience. He spotted a kid in the front row, cheering wildly for the Apex, completely immersed in the spectacle. That's why Ray did this, to create moments, even if he was never the star. As the Apex set up his finisher, Ray whispered, "Make it count, kid." The move hit perfectly, and the crowd erupted as the referee counted 3. The Apex stood victorious, his hand raised high, while Ray rolled out of the ring, clutching his ribs. Back in the locker room, Ray sat in his chair, icing his shoulder. The purists were quiet, begrudgingly impressed. Tony walked over, clapping Ray on the back. "You made him look like $1,000,000 out there," Tony said. Ray nodded, exhausted but satisfied. That's the job. But as he stared at the scuffed floor, he couldn't help but wonder, how long could he keep doing this? How many more nights could he sell the dream for someone else, knowing his own was already out of reach? The answer would have to wait. For now, there was always the next show, the next star to build, the next job to do.